Over him.
And we're live. Good evening. We are Boardgame Amphibians. Apologies for being a little bit late this evening. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Steve.
I'm Paul.
I'm Matt.
Now, the pictures are a little bit crooked.
Sorry, I forgot
I'm going to
my
sort
name.
out the pictures in a minute. But we are playing Hanabi on Boardgame Arena, which apparently now is a premium game.
Oh.
So you have to be a premium member or you can't start games of Hanabi. So it's only for the exclusive few now, it seems. But we've thrown everything in. So we've got the multicolored suit, we've got the black powder expansion, which is great, but makes it quite a bit harder. So you might be able to spot some black cards in some people's hands. But we are going to have a go. Now, we tried this last week, didn't we, without Matt, and we failed miserably. Although we probably don't want to tell Matt that because he will be very pleased to hear it.
I assumed as much.
So we're going to try and up our game this week and see if we can do a little bit better. Now, Matt is first. I will be commentating, so once you guys are all happy, are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm running out of time.
All right, so let me just mute. How do I do this again? I mute you guys, then I mute myself, then I remove my headphones, and yeah, Steve is miming for us, and they're off already. My goodness, what are they doing? So Matt's given Dave a clue. The people are in the right place, albeit the photo's not quite fitting the frames. I will sort that out in a minute. Ones. Oh, and I'll tell you this is really tricky because the black suit is the wrong way around. Yeah, you've got to play the 5s first, then the 4, 3, 2, 1. So there's only one black 1. So the problem with cluing ones, when it includes a 1 on the chop, is that Dave will assume that is a save because a 1 on the chop is like having a 5 on the chop for normal suits. If there's a black 1 on the chop, though, you potentially have to clue ones. Normally we play ones right to left. Somehow David's figured out that that is not the black 1. Now, the fact that he's played that straight away makes me think I've got the black 1 in my hand. Either way, that's good because Dave will come back and play his other black 1. We play ones right to left. Everything else is played left to right, though. So let me just check there's no 5s on the chop. The green one we've already played, so if Steve discards, that's fine. Matt's got a yellow 1. Paul's got a white 1. There's no black 5. Again, realise the black 5 is the first black card that we want to play. So what do I clue? Do I clue Paul on his white 1? Or do I clue Matt? Now, I don't want to really clue Matt on 2 of the ones. So I think I just clue Paul on his white 1. There's no finesse available, I don't think. And then I suspect Steve will clue Matt on his yellow 1. Oh, there you go. He has done. So then I imagine Paul will play. While they're doing that, I'm going to try and sort out the frames, the pictures, which is easier said than done. Because they've changed the layout, you may have noticed, if you haven't been watching for the past couple of weeks, that the layout is quite different. So it's tricky to fit everything in. Okay, so Paul discarded. Why would he do that? It's not a save because it's not number on the chop. But rather than playing, he chose to discard. I don't know what he's doing. Already. Now, because Dave played the first time, see, Matt played, that was fine. I mean, that was yellow, so he knows it's not black. You can't clue black cards with colour. So Paul also has a multicolour 1. I think I'm going to leave Steve to deal with that because I do not understand what's happening there. But if I clue Dave at the bottom on his 5, then he should play the 5. Although, interestingly, we could finesse this. Although, you see, I'm looking at the black 4. If I clued the black 4, that would tell Dave to play his black 5. The problem is that Matt's going to discard, and he'll discard a red 2. This is really, really quite tricky. Someone could save the 2, but I think I want to do it actually. I think if I clue the 4, Dave will realise he's got the 5 and he'll play it. and then somebody else can save Matt's 2s. The yellow 2's playable. So I think I do that because then he needs something else to do. Oh, it's so tricky. I tell you, it's so tricky with the black suit. I clue that. I'm effectively finessing that one. He needs something else to do. You clue him on the yellow one, and it's fine. Let's do that. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's 2 of them in the right place, more or less. That's a little bit better. Yeah, he's clued Paul on several white cards, but I think someone needs to clue Matt on that yellow card, otherwise he's going to discard the red 2. Unless there's a duplicate, there might be another red 2, so we wouldn't need to worry about it. It's so tricky. We've got lots of nice green cards out. We've got the 3, the 4, and the 5. If only we had the green 2. Now the white clue kind of tells Paul, first of all, that one wasn't a black one, so he knows to play it. But it also then tells him to go back and play the previous card when it comes back round to him. So he will play this multicolour 1 next. Then he'll try and play the white 4 when it gets back round to him again. So we'll need to stop him before that happens, because obviously the white 4 is not playable. But the multicolour 1 is fine. Matt should see the finesse here, although it's really hard because it's the black suit and the finesse is backwards. But theoretically he should see it. And then not play. I'm just hoping he gives a clue rather than discarding. Okay, that's Paul in shots. What's he going to do? What is he going to do? I think he has discarded. Okay, I don't think that's the end of the world. Oh, but look, he's drawn the red 1. I've got to really hope. All right, so Dave saw it. That's fine. He picked up on it. I don't want to clue 1s because I'm going to pick up the blue 1, which I've already played. I can clue red on Matt's hand. That would be fine. Or I could clue the yellow 2. Do we have a preference for one or the other? I think there could be a finesse there. So I'm actually going to clue the 2. Because if someone else has the... Let me do yellow just to be very clear about this. Yeah, I think that's fine, because there's nothing else that we can really play there. There's nothing else that needs saving. Notice one advantage of Steve cluing white on Paul's hand, he's actually saving that white 4 as well. Paul won't throw it. As long as we stop him from playing it, he won't throw it, because we've already lost one of the white 4s. We don't want to lose the other one. It occurs to me that my clue on Matt's hand was not really necessary at that point, because he knows he can play the 4. Because it finessed out Dave's 5. So he's got 2 playable cards, so that's fine. He can just play them when it gets round to him. Incidentally, if you're watching and you have any questions, do let us know. All right, he's played the 4. That's fine. What else do we need? Obviously, we've got the red 1s. There's 2 of them now. Is there a finesse available? If it is, it has to be in my hand. If I've got the red 2, obviously no one else has it. And so Dave could clue 2 on my hand, which would tell Paul that his 1 is finessable. But he's just clued Paul. So there's no finesse. That's fine. I don't really mind if Steve discards the blue 3. I can't see anything else that's really worth me doing at this stage. Let's just check those cards. I'm looking for dangerous discards here. It all looks okay. I think I'm just going to discard. Oh, I had another green 1. That's all the green 1s. So Steve may well discard. And let's sort Dave's picture out now. While Steve is thinking. Okay, yeah, he's discarded. That's fine. We're not worried about losing the blue 3. We get the red 1 played. Matt will play the yellow 2. We've got plenty of clues. Notice the way that they do the clues now. So the ones in the white area are the clues we have left. The ones in the black area are the clues we have spent. So Matt knows he can play that. He's drawn the blue 4. Paul drew the black 3, and he's got the black 2. So that's kind of nice in one sense. And you'd love to be able to sort of clue black or something, but you just can't. You can't clue multiple black cards unless they're the same number, and generally you wouldn't want to do that. So we can call clue 3 on Paul's hand, and then when it comes back to him, we could clue 2. There you go. So Dave clued 3. I need to save Steve's 5s. Well, particularly the one on the top. So I just clue 5 on the top. So if he discards, he'll discard the green 4. That's fine. We don't need to worry about it being a black 5 because we've already played the black 5. He's drawn another 5, which is not so good. Paul's got 2 useless black 5s because remember they get played in reverse order. The black 2 is playable. It's quite hard to get that one played though. Notice incidentally that the clue of red on Paul's hand stopped him from playing the white card. Yep, we got him to play the red 1 by cluing red. So that was quite nice because he knows just to save that one. He'll just hang on to that white card until we tell him to play it later on. Probably it will get finessed out. So we discard. We've got all the 1s. That's great. So Matt can discard again, in fact, and it doesn't really matter because we've already had all the 1s. So we're kind of waiting for playable cards. We've got a lot of 5s out at the moment, which is not so good. Oh, and what did Dave do? He said, oh, he told Paul that he has no 3s. So that is a 0 clue on Paul. Now, 0 clue means you play your card furthest to the right. Now, because we stopped Paul from playing his white card, he knows that card is not playable. Yep, it can't be the white 2, otherwise we wouldn't have stopped him. So he knows it must be the next card that's playable, so he's going to play the black 2, which is great. On Steve's turn, if he's got nothing to do, he's going to discard the yellow 1. That's absolutely fine. I can't see anything else that's playable, so I am going to discard. It's a black 4. That's fine. We've already played the black 4. Okay. Right, so Steve discards. Paul hopefully has figured this out and will play the black 2. Again, 0 clues mean play your rightmost card, what would we normally call your chop card. Sometimes you need to pay attention though, it's not always that straightforward. But that's good, he has played it. That was a really nice clue actually from Dave, I think, to get that one played. Because it's very difficult to get those black cards played, because if you clue number on the chop, it means save, not play. Although in this case, we wouldn't really want to save a 2, so I imagine Paul would figure out 2 as a play clue anyway, but still, it's tricky. So the 0 clue is very helpful. We also have this convention where we play, when you give a 0 clue, you clue the highest number that you can't see. So the fact that he was clued, Paul was clued 3 by Dave, that means Paul knows he's got 5s and 4s in his hand potentially. Dave couldn't clue 5 or 4 because the highest number he couldn't see was a 3. So that also gives Paul information about his hand. That's quite handy. Whew. It's actually going okay. We need to be very careful about Steve's multicolour 5. We've got to save that one. But a clue with 5, this is now his chop card. So that's fine. That would save it. Yeah, so where are the playable cards though? 2s, we're missing 2. If only we hadn't discarded that red 2 earlier, because we've got the 3, the 4 and the 5. I think we could have saved it. Yeah, I think, well, we'll see what happens. We don't really want to lose the red 3 as well. That wouldn't be good. So he's told Dave, Matt told Dave that he has no 2s. Okay, so first of all, it's a 0 clue. That means play the rightmost card. That means play the green 3. Now Dave can't play the green 3, which means I must have the missing card. I must have the green 2. That's the only way this works. However, it's really hard for Dave to see this because he doesn't know his own hand. That's good. Dave's done really well there. So he is looking to see, does anybody have a playable card in their most recent spot? And I do. Okay, I'm going to have the green too. So he can't take the risk of playing that card. He has to assume it's a finesse, even if it's not a finesse, which is possible. He has to assume it is one, not play the card just in case. And he is elected to save Steve's 5. He clued 5 on the chop, so Steve won't discard that. Steve, if he's got nothing to do, potentially would discard the red 3, but that is not awful. But I have to go through with the finesse. I don't really have a choice here. Otherwise, it leaves Dave in a very sticky situation. But people can draw cards, obviously, that could be useful. Maybe I've drawn something useful. Okay, so Steve had to discard. I've obviously not drawn anything useful. Steve, though, has drawn a multicolor 2. That's great, because he can play it. But we haven't got anything else. Paul, I think, should be discarding. Great, he's getting rid of those useless black 5s. That is not the 2 we wanted, though. Matt, I think, should be discarding at this point. He shouldn't really be the one to clue Steve. You might wonder, who's the best person to clue Steve? Ideally, it's me. Yeah, the next person before them. And if you are cluing early, there should be a good reason. So you can do it, but there should be a good reason for it. And figuring out exactly what that is sometimes can be tricky. But if you don't want someone to discard, okay, he's clued green. So one reason he might choose to clue early is that he might know that I've got a safe discard, because Dave, remember, was zeroed, so he should be playing his rightmost card, the 3. And he obviously wants to get the green 5 played, which is going to require quite a lot of work here. So Steve will play the multicolor 2 next, that's fine. The next card he will try and play is what he thinks is the green 5, as long as we get the green 4 played. Now somebody should be cluing that green 4. It doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't need to be me. Paul has a safe discard. He's got no other playable cards. Matt's got no other playable cards. So I'm just going to discard. I can't see any reason why I should be the one to give the clue. So I'm discarding a useless white 1. That is good. Steve will play his leftmost card that was clued, which was the multicolor 2 with the green clue. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Steve has clued Dave at the bottom on his green 4. Essentially what he's saying is, I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know why he did that. I think he should have played his green card. But like the leftmost one that he thinks is green. But he's obviously a bit worried, what if it's the green? But if it's the green 4, he should play it anyway, because why would he clue Dave's green 4 if he thinks he might have the green 4? I don't understand what Steve is doing. Okay, but Paul has told him basically that those are actually multicolour cards. So now Steve will just play without any concerns. And it also means when he gets back round to him that he will play his, he can play the green 5, because Dave will have played the green 4. Matt now, I think, has got nothing to do, so should be discarding. The only issue might be if I have a dangerous discard, he might want to save my chop card. We'll see if he clues my hand. I might have drawn something playable. If not, he will just discard. Then Dave will play, and then I will discard, unless there's something I can clue. There is a lot going on here, so if you're watching and you're a bit mystified, do ask. If you want me to explain why this clue was given or what that means, or I'm very happy to go through it. The reason we are commentating is to help you learn. Not that we're the best Hanabi players in the world ever, but you can at least learn our system and how we do it. I do think the system is very effective, but sometimes we don't always do the right thing. We get carried away. Matt's having a long, hard think here. He's discarded. Okay, fine. So he's drawn the white 2. That's great. We can have a big pile of finessing at this point. Now, right, so Dave played the green 4. That's fine. Steve knows what he's doing. He's got several cards he can play. we really want to get the white 2, the white 3, and the white 4 played in that order. And I'm just trying to think about the easiest way to do that. I think what I actually want to do is 0 Dave. I can't clue him white because he'll play the 1. I can't clue him 3 because number on the top means save. But if I 0 clue him, I'm telling him to play his endmost card. Matt will look at that and go, oh, but the 3's not playable, and he'll play his 2. And because I'm telling both of them, oh no, but Paul might think it's, no, Paul won't think it's a finesse because he knows it's not the 2 because we stopped him from playing. So Paul, I think, will then figure out that his is the 4 because he can see the 5. I think this will work wonderfully. We will see. So I'm going to give Dave the 0 clue. Okay. I've told him 0. And so I'm telling him to play his rightmost card. Matt will see that and go, oh, in front of the white 3, we need the white 2. And hopefully he should play. So Paul, I think, will discard at this point. Steve's just drawn the red 3. That's really bad because we need to save the red 3. Yeah, we've already lost it. I don't know if you can see on the bottom left here, but the red 3 we've lost. We discarded 1 already, so we cannot lose that red 3. So we'll have to save that. In fact, that's what Paul did. That was very sensible, really. Frees up the rest of us to do more interesting things. So Matt should be playing his most recent card to make sure that my clue on Dave doesn't go awry. Great, he did. And then, as I say, I don't think we need to clue Paul. Paul will just intuit that surely his is the white 4, I think. Whoops. Dave tried to play his most recent card, and you can see he's now looking back over the clues, and he's like, oh, it was a 0 clue. Oops, I missed it. At least that's what I think he's saying. So that is a shame because Paul could have played that. Well, the other issue now is that that was clearly a save clue, so Steve knows we're going to be saving that. And if it's a 3, he knows it's the red 3 or the blue one, because those are the ones we discarded. So really we want to, what do we do? What do we do? Steve's going to be playing. Don't need to worry about Steve. If I clue Matt red, he will look and see the 2 is here and the 3 is there, so he won't play. But that tells Dave that he's got the 2. I think this is fine. We'll see what happens. That's a play clue, okay, because it's not number on the top. Steve can play his green 5. There it goes. So that's fine. But because it's the red 4 that I've clued, that means the red 2 and the red 3 have to be played first. So everyone looks around for where the red 2 is, first of all, and everyone but Dave can see it. So Dave knows he's got it, and it has to be his most recent card. Hopefully he hasn't forgotten about the 0 clue, which means he should be playing the white 3. But he'll have to choose at this point, and probably he'll pick the red 2 to play first, because then the card that needs to be played to get the red 4 played after that is the red 3, and everyone will look around, and the only person who can't see the red 3 will be Steve. So Steve will know that the 3 that was previously clued must be the red one, and he'll play it. And then Matt then will be able to play his red 4. And then when it gets back to Dave, he hopefully will play the white 3, and then Paul can play the white 4, and then Steve can play the white 5. So we'll see. Paul's discarded. That's fine, I think. Matt is not playing, which is correct, he shouldn't do. He's actually clued yellow on Dave, which is a finesse. Yeah, and he's finessing Steve's yellow 3, okay? So let's just check. What is Steve going to do? Steve should be playing the red 3 or the yellow 3. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but he'll play one of those 2. Is there anything else that I should really be doing? I don't think there is, frankly. Because the white 3 can get played. What's Paul going to do? I think I might do this for tempo, actually, which means we kind of want to get the cards played faster. The problem with Dave playing the white 3 and then waiting for it to come back to Paul to play the white 4 and then waiting for it to get back to Steve to play the white 5 is a lot of rounds to get the cards played. We'll get them played much faster if Paul just plays that white 3 first. So what I think I might do, it's very difficult to play these. I could 0 Paul if I give him a 1 clue, I'm telling him play his rightmost card. As soon as that white 3 goes down, I think Dave will know not to play that one anymore. And he'll play the yellow 4 after Steve's yellow 3. Let's hope this works. If it doesn't, we'll miss fire, but it's not the end of the world. So I've given Paul a 0 clue. I'm telling him play the white 3. He doesn't know it's a white 3, so Paul will just play. Doesn't really matter. But Steve will now go, Okay, he's played that one. That's interesting. I would have expected him to go for the yellow one. But we'll see. Paul doesn't know what he's got, so he just has to play. He doesn't really have a choice here. Yeah, they're thinking, oh, but hang on, Dave got the 0 clue. But Dave, I think, will realise what his 0 clue was and won't play that end card now. But you see, I was expecting Steve to play the yellow 3 so that Dave could play the yellow 4. Dave knows it's a yellow 4 because it was finessing Steve's 3. So he won't play the 4. It's really difficult though because we zeroed him. I think we could end up with a misfire here, but I don't think it really matters. Matt, though, should definitely know that he can play his red card. Right, what else do we need? The blue 2, 3 have arrived. He might be thinking about the finesse. He's just played, that's fine. So I'll finesse all the blues. Dave, I think, has got a really difficult decision. And I don't know that he can really get it right here. I'm expecting him to misfire, but it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. We've got 3 lives altogether. We have lost 1 admittedly already, so this will be our 2nd life loss. But as long as you don't lose all 3, you're fine. You can still get a maximum score. So I'd hope, in fact, he's clued. He's told Matt, oh, that's really nice. That is a really good clue. Okay, he's been cautious, which is very much what he should have done. He told Matt that he's got no 5s, so he's telling Matt to play the rightmost card, which is a blue 4. Steve will look at that and go, that can't be played, so he plays his most recent card. Paul will look at the same thing and then play the 3, and then it should all work. So I don't think I need to do anything. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... This is really difficult though, because Dave's still hanging on with nothing to do. I'm going to discard. I don't think I should give any more clues at this point. I think it makes it too confusing. So we got he played the 2 blue, the 3 blue, then Matt will play the 4 blue, and then we're back in the same situation. So that 1 clue from Dave got 3 cards played. Oh, he's... that's actually really nice, and I totally missed the fact that Dave could have played that red card. But that probably is the right call from Matt, because Dave is stuck without a card to play. Cluing that one tells him to play it. It's back to me. Steve, I think, knows he should be playing the yellow 3. Dave, sorry, at the bottom has drawn the multicolour 3, so it'd be nice to get that played. So... what order do we want to get the cards played in, I guess, is the question. I think Paul knows he can play the white 5 now. So I think I just clue... I think Steve already knows this, but I think I clue yellow on Steve to make sure he plays that one. Then I think Paul plays, Matt plays his end card, and then Dave plays that one. We're not that short on clues. I think we're fine. I'm going to do that. I think he knows. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, because I think Paul knows he should play. Matt knows, so he should play, because he got 0 clued. And then Dave knows what to do, because he got clued yellow on that one. I think Dave will play his 4. Matt likes cluing, which is probably why he's umming and ahhing a bit here. But he knows he can play the card on the rightmost card. It finessed out the blue 2 and 3, so he should know it's the blue 4. He's actually clued again. He's clued me 4, which is going to be finessing Dave's multicolour 3, probably. Depends what Dave plays. If Dave plays the multicolour 3, he does, then I just play this 4, and it should be the multicolour 4. And that means that Steve can play the multicolour 5, which is great. The purple, incidentally, on top of the card means multicolour, which is I found it a little bit confusing. I don't know why they couldn't have done a multicolour thing. The rainbow 5. So Steve can actually play either the white 5 or the rainbow 5. Now he's got a choice of 2, which is great. We've only got 6 cards left in the deck, so we need to be quite... we need to get on with it. Steve definitely needs to play. We're also missing the black 1. Where has that gone? We've got a lot of cards to play. It's going to be quite tight. Maybe I shouldn't have clued Steve on his yellow 3. I didn't realise we were so low on cards. On the whole, I think the game's gone quite well. That gets us a clue back there, which is very useful. Paul doesn't know anything, but he should be able to... Matt knows about his blue 4. Where's the blue 5, though? He should be able to clue me if I've got it. If I've got the black 1, he should be able to clue me. Wow, they must be right. Oh, he's still not drawing them. Where are these cards? So Matt surely now should be playing. And then Dave plays. And then we've got to hope we draw the cards. We kind of want to be... the tricky thing you got to think about here is whenever somebody plays that last card, where everyone gets one more turn. There we go, they've played. So I need to clue... Right, all the 5s are now playable. So I clue Paul's 5. He knows that's a playable 5. Steve clues rather than plays, because if that white 5 is the last card played, it's fine, we win. So the only question is then, where is the black 1? Oh, Dave's drawn it. I didn't see, but Dave has drawn it. So Matt clues 1. That's great. We always play from left to right. So now we just play, and I think we win. As long as... Oh, sorry, it was Paul. So Paul clued Dave on his 1s, and then everyone plays. Yeah, we're there. That's the black 1, the white 5, the yellow 5. So I just discard. I've got nothing to do. Oh, there we go. Yep, discard. And I think we win. I don't know if this is the first time we've managed this with 5, but very happy with that. Woohoo!
Aren't you glad I'm back? Hey, Schrödinger Steve.
Oh, I've been asked to rate the game adaptation.
Ooh, same.
I haven't.
I have.
I'll give it 4.
One last thing. Any message for the developer? Nice.
No, just change it back.
Can rainbow be multicolour instead of purple? I'm just going to say that.
Oh.
You're giving real comments.
Yeah, there we go. All
like
right,
he's a
so
teacher or something.
let me look at the final situation.
What are you?
I realised there were a couple of hazy sections in there, but overall I thought it went quite well.
Too many zeros. I got clued about my yellow 3 twice, Jonathan.
Yeah. I knew you knew about it, but there'd been so many clues, and you were playing like you had to defer playing a couple of times.
Why did you think I forgot?
I'm sorry, Steve.
Now I can't hear anyone.
When you clued 0 on Dave, and he had the white 3. Paul had the white 3 and 4 in order. You should have just clued Paul.
Remove.
Zeros are confusing. If you can clue someone without using a 0 clue, it's much better. If you just clue white on Paul.
Okay, I did consider that.
You finesse the 2 out.
Yeah, Steve, you're quite quiet.
Oh, am I?
It might just be you need to move the microphone closer to your mouth. Is it because you're eating? Is that why? That's fine. Well, we can hear you. It's all right. It's just you're quieter than normal.
It's probably because... oh, no, I'm using that one. Hang on.
I take your point on board. I think that is a valid point.
How's this? Is this better?
There we go.
Slightly.
There we go. Now you should be able to hit him.
Alright.
Can you start the new game, please?
Yes,
I'm just
start
going
new
to
game.
grab a
That's-
drink. Oh, keep my headphones on.
I think before we start the new one, I think so if you start with the black 1 in your right hand spot, I just think you shouldn't be clued. Like at the start of our game, I played the rightmost 1
I
as
wondered
normal,
about
and I was just like, well, I just don't get why you would prioritize cluing the person with the black 1 in the discard spot in the first round if there's other playable ones. I think you have to not clue them.
What,
and
wait
then,
for 1 round?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not even 1 round, but I clued him his ones on the
Or
very
give them a
first
double
clue.
Yeah, if you give them a
Because he
double
was the next
clue,
person to
that
play.
tells them that they shouldn't play the rightmost 1 or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense. So we just avoid cluing the black 1 on the first round.
Only if it's on the chop.
Yeah, on the chop.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, we're just waiting for you.
Oh, no, it says we're waiting for Dave on my screen. There we go.
Sorry, it was actually Dave, not Matt.
Yeah.
So the one consequence of that is it becomes much more important not to discard anything in your first round, because you may have been intentionally not clued on something because you have a dangerous chop.
I think I think if you get told you've got a single 1 on the chop, that's possibly the black 1. But it's when you've got multiples. So if I get told I've got a single 1 on the chop, I'm going to save it because you could have zeroed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a single 1, that's fine. It's just when you've got multiples.
Yeah.
So multiple ones
sure,
always means play.
Yeah.
In the first round.
But not being clued still could mean that you have the black 1 on your chop if there's another
And
one
some other
elsewhere in your
ones.
hands. So it's very important to not, play or to not discard in the first round.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Paul, you're up. Oh, hang on. I need to mute you all, don't I? So,
yes.
Away they go. Away I go. And see if we can get another 30. My goodness, how did we ever manage that? Right, so I can't see any black 1s. That's good. Unfortunately, all the 1s are quite evenly distributed. Look, there's a multicolour 1, a green 1, a blue 1. It becomes very inefficient to just give 1 clue and get 1 card played. 1 clue, 1 card played. It'd be nice to finesse some stuff. Unfortunately, there's nothing playable in the leftmost card of anybody's hand. That's where it has to be if you're going to finesse it. And we've already got a couple of 5s. That's not good. We've got the blue 1 and the blue 2. But again, it's not easy to get them both played with 1 clue at all. So it's going to be not ideal. Right, he's clued Dave on his blue 1. Matt's clued Steve on his multicolour 1. And then wandered off. So he's played that. What am I going to do? There's really nothing very exciting here. Steve's going to play. I mean, I guess I clue Matt on his 1. Because I shouldn't be discarding in the first round. We just had that conversation. So there's no finessing. It's hard to get this 2 played. I'm going to clue 1. They'll know it's definitely a different coloured 1 because my clue is play. And they'll know it's not the black 1 because number on the chop means save, the rightmost card. So because that green 1's not on the chop, it's not the rightmost card. That means it's a play clue. Right. So, what's Paul going to do? He could clue Steve on his blue 2. I can't see much else that's playable. I've been clued 5. Now that's not on the chop. So that should mean play, which means it should be the black 5. Because remember, they get played in reverse order. If it's not the black 5, that is a crazy clue. So in theory, Matt seems to have gone blue. Oh, there we go. He's fixed his screen. Yeah, Matt should just be playing here, I think. Doesn't look like there's any exciting clues to give. All right, so Dave. This is a terrible start. There's just no playable cards. There's the blue 2, so he could clue Steve on his blue 2. But what else do we play after that? In general, we try and save 2s. So for example, the red 2, let's say, in Matt's hand. If that kind of drifts all the way to the end and ends up on the chop, we would save it because it's a 2. We don't tend to save anything else. Unless, like, obviously critical cards like 5s, we save. But if it's not a critical card, we will save 2s, but nothing else. Right, what did Dave do? Oh my goodness, he told me I was going to play the 5. But Dave's just zeroed me to say play my rightmost. Oh my goodness, this is making my head hurt already. Right, I thought the 5 was a flake clue. However, Dave's just zeroed me to say I've got no 4s, which means play the rightmost card. Now I have to check if that's a finesse. Does anyone have a playable card on the most recent spot? No, they don't. And I haven't got any 4s. I was going to play the 5, but like, what is that clue doing? It's telling me play the rightmost card, the one after the 5. It's telling me play in this card. So which one do I play first? Actually, I think I play that one. Because I can't see a black 4. That's my issue. So it's a multicolour 2, that's fine. It's not an awful clue. Steve has a very easy clue because that clue of blue gets the multicolour 3 played and the blue 2 played. But yeah, you can see why it was more important for me to play that mystery card on the end, because nothing follows the black 5. But if I play a mystery card, it could enable other cards to get played. In this case, it has immediately. But I'm still thinking that I should be playing that 5. I still think it's a black 5. Because it wasn't on my chop. I'm just trying to work out why they didn't clue me on the multicolour 2 first. But if that's because the multicolour 1 hadn't been played, I'm trying to remember when the multicolour 1 was played. I can't. So I'm going to try playing that 5. And if it's wrong, well, we can argue about it later. Paul, when it gets back round to him, will be playing the blue 2. Yeah, because we run a play all system. So he was clued on 2 cards. He plays the first one. When it gets back round to him, he plays the next one. And you always play left to right, except for ones in starting hands. Ones in your starting hand, you play right to left. But otherwise, you play left to right. Matt's discarded, so he obviously can't see anything that's worth cluing. Dave will probably be doing the same. So yeah, I'm just thinking over the clue really. I guess the multicolour 2 wasn't playable when the original clue of 5 was given to me. And Dave just felt like it's more important that I play the rightmost multicolour 2 card, so he kind of, what's the word, overrode the previous clue. He's discarded, so he can't see anything to do. I've got a playable card, so I shouldn't be cluing. Even though we've drawn the green 2, I'm going to leave that for somebody else. I'm going to play that 5. It better be the black 5. Thank goodness it is the black 5. Now, if Steve discards, that's okay, because he's got the other white 4, but we need to be very careful about saving his dodgy cards, if you like, because the blue 5, we'll need to save that when it gets to the top, but we also need to save the white 4 after discards. There we go, he discarded the white 4. So that's, oh no, and he's drawn a yellow 5. Look at that. That's 3 cards in his hand we've got to save, which is going to get very tricky. Now, one way we can do that is actually clue 5 now. And that might be a bit... Oh, my goodness. Look, Paul's drawn the red 2. Oh, but we don't have the red 1. It'd be so nice to clue red on Paul's hand and get the 2 and the 3 played. Except we don't have the red 1. So Matt... Oh, was there a clue? Matt's got the multicolour 4. What did Paul do? Paul played the other blue card. Matt told Dave about his green card. That's good. So we can get this multicolour 4 played. If Steve discards, it's fine because it's it's the blue 2 which we've already played. Oh, that's the yellow 1. There's a lovely clue there. In fact, there are 2 clues that need to be given here. And this is quite important. You need to pay attention to what clues people can give. So we can clue a 0 clue, let's say, on Matt to get him to play the multicolour 4. We can also clue yellow on Dave, which gets the 1 and the 2 played, which I think is quite nice. And I'd rather they are cluing. I don't really want Steve to discard because then this huge problem with all of his cards end up being on the chop rears its ugly head. We need to keep an eye on the white 5 in Dave's hand, and we don't want to lose the 2. So I think I should discard, okay? That's fine. And then I think Steve will clue. Oh, he's clued yellow on my hand. So that is a finesse, okay? He's definitely saying, I suspect that's the yellow 3. So everyone will look around and see the yellow 1 in Dave's hand, and Dave can't see it, so he'll play it. But then the other card, the yellow 2, has to follow that. It has to be in someone else's hand, but we can see that it's next in Dave's hand. The confusing thing is it's also in Paul's hand, but I think Dave will realise and just play the next card. We'll see what happens there. That will be very interesting to see what happens and what he does. Paul, though, I think will 0 Matt. Oh, in fact, he's just clued blue, which is safer. 0 clues are a bit dangerous. So that's fine. It's not number on the top, so he just clues. If he's clued colour, that just means play. So he should just play that card. He'll be checking for a finesse, but there's no finesse that's on. Unless I've got the 3 in my most recent spot. The blue 3. But I think that's unlikely. So I think Matt will play. He's played, that's great. We've drawn the green 1, we don't need that. So Dave will play his most recent yellow card. Now I know I don't have the yellow 2 because I can see both of them. He's drawn the blue 3. Now I don't really want to be giving clues here. Can't clue. It's going to be very difficult to save Steve's card later, but I can't do anything about that right now. I think the safest thing is for me to discard. It basically tells Dave, I know I don't have the yellow 2, so I'm not playing. And then leave Steve to do some cluing things. So I'm discarding. That's the red 3. He now has to save Paul's red 3, which is quite good really, because yeah, there we go. If Paul discards the yellow 2 now, that's actually great because it makes it very clear to Dave that he's the one that's got the yellow 2. And then when it gets back round to me, I will play mine, and I think mine will be the yellow 3. It's really important because you just don't have enough clues in this game. You need to be able to get multiple cards played with 1 clue as often as possible. And it's all about finessing. Right, and Paul has saved Matt's red 2, which is very sensible. Paul doesn't realise he's got the red 2, but that's fine. We really want to save 2, so as I said earlier, I talked about this card moving up to the chop. If it gets there, we want to save it. So that's a save clue. Number on the chop means save. So Matt won't try and play it. We don't need to clue Dave, as I say, because I think Dave knows where that yellow 2 has to be. Particularly because Paul didn't try and do any playing. That means Paul can see it, which is why he's not playing it. Excuse me. At some point, Steve will discard that blue 2, though. And then we're going to have to give him, I think the only way we can do this really is 2 clues in a row. We'll have to wait till the 5 is on the chop and clue 5. And then someone else, before it gets to Steve, will have to clue the 4 as well to say save that one. What's Matt going to do? I think he should be discarding, to be honest. I don't think we should give any clues to Dave. That would be very confusing for Dave. I think Dave will know. Yeah, he's figured out it's that card. That's great. That's really nice play. So it's obvious what I need to do. I've waited for the yellow cards. Now I think mine's playable. So I play rather, and it is the yellow 3. There we go. Steve will now have lots of fun cluing because the yellow 4 has been drawn at the bottom. He could clue that one. Oh, he's clued red. Look, he's clued red. So that is saying, and he's saying we need to play this red 2. Now the only way that happens is if I've got the red 1, because you look for the red 1. Well, where's the red 1? No one's got it. That means I must have it, and it's always the most recent spot. So this card here on the left, that's got to be the red 1. So I'll be playing that when it gets round to my turn. Paul. Oh, that's a finesse again. That's very nice. So Paul's clued yellow on Steve, saying play this yellow card. But Dave will look at that and go, hang on, that's not playable. The 4 needs to be played first. I can't see the yellow 4 anywhere. Oh, I must have the yellow 4, and it's always the leftmost spot. I mustn't forget that I've got the red 1 in my leftmost spot. Now, Steve could have clued Matt just on his 2 to get him to play that. So I will play the 1, and then Matt will play the 2. But he actually clued red, being the 4. So that tells everybody that the red 3 is out there somewhere. That we can see it, that Steve can see it effectively. And the only person who can't see the red 3 is Paul. So I think that's effectively telling Paul that his 3 is red as well. So I'm going to play what I think is my red 3. Sorry, red 1. Steve then will play the yellow 5, which gets us a clue back. That's very nice. He's drawn the red 5. That is good. Now, Paul will probably... He'll either discard or clue. Is there any clues that can be given on, say, Dave's hand? You don't want to clue Matt. I've just noticed. Oh yes, yes. Look, Dave's drawn the blue 3. That's good. So that's a straight play clue. There's no finesse there because the blue 3 is the next card that needs to be played. So Matt should be playing what he can see is the red 2. He's been clued red and 2, so he should play that. You might wonder, should you play the other red card? What if it's the multicolor 5 or something? You should always play the one you're sure about first. So it's not necessarily left to right, it's the one you're sure about. And he's sure about the red 2, so he plays that one first. When it gets back round to him, he's going to play that red 4. Because one clue means play all. So at that point, Paul should realise this is going to go wrong unless the red 3 is played. I must have it. And so Paul should play the 3 that he's already been clued on. You play the card you've already been clued on first before playing your leftmost card. So it's back to me. Have we done anything interesting? We need to be very careful about the black 1. It's the only one in the game. Steve can discard. Paul should play. Then Matt should play. Dave. Oh, I'd quite like to save that white 2. But if we save the white 2, then he discards. Oh, what am I doing? He's drawn the white 1. We just need to clue white on his hand. I'm wondering whether it should be me or Steve that does it. I think I should discard. I think Steve's hand is a little bit dangerous. It's better for me to discard. Then Steve can clue white on Dave's hand. I think that is the way to go. Okay, great. That was a useless blue 1. So Steve, I think, will clue white on Dave's hand at the bottom. You don't want to clue. You could clue 1, but really we want to get the 1 and the 2 played. Yeah. So if we clue white, the problem is that Dave will play the white 1. Then when it gets back to him, he'll try and play the white 5 because that's the next most card. So we'll have to give another clue to tell him to play them in a different order and effectively to save the white 5. So that was the 3. Paul figured out his 3 was red. That's great. Matt should now know that he can play his other red card. Otherwise, how did Paul know to play? But it's play 1, play all anyway, so that's fine. Dave then plays. It gets back round to me. And what do? We could really do with a black 3, and then we can get the black 3 and the 2 and the 1 played. Oh, would you look at that? So what I'm looking at here is we have the 2, 3, 4, 5 in white. They're all out there, but how do you clue them in such a way that gets them all played? I actually think we need multiple clues for this. But who should be the person to clue? That's quite important. Essentially, we want to clue 5 on Dave's hand, and that will get him to play the rightmost white card instead. But then we also want to clue the finesse that's here. Now, I could finesse. See, Steve can't see the finesse is the problem. I don't think it matters. I think I should discard again. I think that is the safest option. If I discard, that's fine. Steve, I think, will clue 5. He might discard. If he discards, that's fine. But someone will clue the 5 first on the white card. I think that's the most important priority. That tells Dave to play the rightmost white card. There we go. Steve's done it. Having done that, though, we actually want to then finesse the white 4, or clue the white 4 in Steve's hand, which will finesse the white 3 in Dave's hand. So again, that's 1 clue. He gets 2 cards played. Paul might not feel the need to do it, so he might discard, but that's fine. He has clued me, telling me I've got no 2s. Okay, so that is a 0 clue. It means play my rightmost card. The only issue is, could it be a finesse? I've just noticed that Steve's red 5 is playable. What do we think that rightmost card is? I have no idea. I think it'd be very dangerous to clue me on a white card in this situation with so many, when I can see all the other white cards. So I don't think it's finesse. I think I just play. But someone needs to tell Steve that he can play. So I think we clue 5 on Steve's hand. Or red might be better, but that will get the red 5 played, and then Steve's hand becomes a much less of a problem. So throughout the game, I've been discarding quite a lot instead of cluing when I could have clued, because I've been leaving Steve with the clues to give, but that then prevents Steve from having to discard and ending up with lots of dangerous cards on the chop. So it's important to manage those things as you play the game, and essentially that's how we've done it. It relies on everybody else keeping an eye on my chop, of course, to make sure I'm not discarding anything dangerous. Okay, that's fine. Matt has finessed the white 3 from Dave's hand by cluing the white 4, as we talked about on Steve's hand. So that's good. So I'm pretty confident I can just play my rightmost card because of the 0 clue. Dave should know that he should play the rightmost one first, because the clue of 5 says play them in the other order. So I've no idea what mine is. Steve knows he can't play yet. He'll discard the blue 2 if he doesn't clue, so that's fine. So I'm playing that one. I don't know what it is. It's the black 4. That's good. Steve has discarded, but that's fine because we can clue him to play the red 5. Although I suspect when it gets down to Dave, he's going to play the white 3. I think Dave will have figured out from Matt's clue on the white 4 that he's got the white 3. He has to remember, though, that it was the first card and now it's moved over and it's the second card. It's very hard to keep track of things like that. But I think Dave will be fine. So Paul's back in the driving seat. What's he going to do? We've only got 1 clue left, so he's discarding. That's quite safe. We don't want to lose that green 4, look. We've already discarded a green 4. So the green 4 on Paul's chop is now dangerous. We'll need to save that if we don't draw the green 3 before then. What's Matt going to do? We're going to have a lot of cards to save if we're not careful. Yeah. If Matt discards, it's fine, I think. He's just clued Steve to play his red 5. That's fine. That also gives me some confidence that my chop card is safe to discard, because what else am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to save Paul's 4 because I want Steve to play. So I'm just going to clue 4 on that one. There's no green 3 out, so we just have to save that. Number on the chop means save. So Steve should play, and in actual fact, although he knows that's the red 5, because it was a red clue, he will play the white card, because the white card enables Dave to play the white 5. Notice that Dave got the white 3 correct earlier. That was expert play on his part. Right, have we got anything else that Matt can clue? I don't want to jinx it, but this I think is one of the best games we've managed to play with the black suits. Normally do pretty well with just multicolour suits, but black makes it so hard. We are gradually getting the hang of this. We're doing a lot better than we were last week. Oh, I've been clued green. Oh, that's interesting. All right, now I'll tell you what. That is not the green 3, and it's not even the green 4. Steve has drawn the green 3, okay? So the green clue means, oh, I can see the green 3, that needs to get played first. I can also see the green 4, so that has to be played second. So my leftmost green card will be the will be the 5, the green 5, because I have to wait for those other cards to be played first. So I'm definitely not playing. Steve knows he's playing that one. And just keep an eye on the cards. There's 13 cards in the deck. Is there anything else that can be played? It'd be great if we had a black 3. We don't. So I should discard. The multicolour 5 is another card I'm wondering about. It also doesn't seem to be out. I can't see anything to clue. So I'm discarding. Because theoretically, the other green card that I've got in my hand could be the multicolour 5. But that's definitely a finesse on Steve's hand. The fact that I've discarded and not plays tells me I can see the card that should come before what I think is next. I can see the green 3. So I'm not playing. There's no one else has a playable card on the most recent spot. So Steve should realise that his most recent card, the leftmost card, is the green 3 and he should play it. But he's not. Okay. Now I'm a bit mystified. That might be because I do actually have... No, I can't have the green 3. There's no way I have the green 3 because we've already lost a green 3. So Steve's just missed the finesse. I think that other people will have gone, oh, Steve, when that happened, and he will have realised that he's missed the finesse. Although, not looking at their pictures, I shouldn't really know that. I should just think he's missed the finesse. Which makes it a bit tricky. But I can't clue Steve again because I don't technically know what cards my green cards are. I think the leftmost card is the green 5. That would make sense to get Steve to finesse. So that is a finesse, yeah. You can see the blue clue on Steve. The blue 5 can't be played, but the blue 4 can be played in Paul's hand. So Paul will look around and go, oh, I must have the blue 4. So that was a good clue from Matt, finessing Paul's blue 4. What's Dave going to do? I'd really like Dave to clue 3 on Steve's hand. He's discarded. I know I don't have the green 3. I mean, I absolutely know I don't have it because there's only 2 of them. Steve's got 1. And why did you play the red 5? I think he just missed the finesse. I'm trying to work out if I missed something. Have we got enough clues for me to waste a clue telling Steve what I think he already knows? I've got to... Why did Dave discard? Dave must think it's all right. Does Dave have anything that's playable? No, Dave's got a hand of junk. Matt has got 2 important black cards, but where's the black 3? The problem is we actually lost a black 3 quite early on. You can see at the bottom here. I think it was from my hand. But do I clue? I don't think we lose anything by me cluing. We've been quite efficient. We're going to get clues back with 5s and things. I think I'm just going to clue it. Steve missed it. I'm going to punish him. There we go. Paul knows that. So the fact that Paul played the green 4 tells me I've definitely got the green 5. Oh, the black 3's appeared. Paul's just drawn it. That's great. So Matt will look around and think, where's the black 2? Now, there might be another black 2 out there. Could be in my hand. If not, he might clue Paul's 3. Black 3. He might just discard. He probably ought to discard, but Matt's not one for discarding generally. You never know. I'm playing though, and then Steve is playing. So, oh, hang on. What did Oh, and the 4. Did we miss the 4 clue as well? He has clued it. But we need to get the blue 4 played before Steve can play the blue 5. We're going to be very tight on cards here. Like from a tempo point of view, we've only got 7 cards left. We need to be very careful about this. Dave, I think, should be the one to fix it, though. I don't think I should. I think I should just play my cards. Get it played. Yeah, he's actually clued 4, so we're forgetting about Paul's one because it's more important that the 3 is played. You know what? It's actually more important that the 2 is then played immediately afterwards. Because if I play my 5, Matt then doesn't do anything. But if my 5 that's played is the very last card played in the entire game, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. We've only got 1 clue left, but I think actually I should use it to tell Matt to play his black 2. Because then we'll get the 4 played, the 3 played, the 2 played, and then I can come back and play it. And I think it's fine. The only danger is if I've got the multicolour 5 as well, and I've got 2 cards to play, then it becomes a bit of a risk. But no, we won't run out of cards before then. Unless I've got another important card. If I play it now, and we play that, and we play that, we'll be on, what, 4 cards left? We'll have to get round... No, I think it's too dangerous. I'm going to clue it. I think it's too dangerous for me to play at this point. We've just got slightly behind. That's good. Paul will play. Matt will play. Because Matt's got the 1, you see. He's got to play that 1 as well. And oh my goodness, how in the world do you clue it? You can't clue black. Dave's discarded because he doesn't have any clues. I definitely want to be playing here, I think. Then they've got 2 clues. So Steve and Paul both have a clue, and somehow they have to get Matt to play that middle 1. How in the world do they do it? They've got 2 clues. Now, I still can't see the multicolour 5, so there's a good chance my rightmost card is the multicolour 5. We'll get a clue back when we play the black 1. We just need to find a way of cluing it. I mean, you can clue 1, obviously. Steve's clued 1. And then I think probably Paul clues yellow, which tells him not to play the leftmost 1, but to play the next 1. Yeah. That's what I would have done. So Matt should know to play not the first 1, not the one he would have played otherwise, but to play the next 1 along. Yes. And then Dave has a clue. So if the multicolour 5 is out there and it's not that green card, my rightmost what I think is a green card, he will clue it in my hand. If he just discards and doesn't draw it, he's drawn it. That's fine. So I know that my rightmost card is not the multicolour 5 because Dave has just drawn it. Steve knows about his blue 5 and we're there. We are there. Well, my goodness, that was a game and a half. That was very tight in places, but we made it through some very skillful play. Mostly on their part, I might admit. Right, so I think I'm
I better fix that then.
The blue. Oh no!
There we go. We've wasted all our clues at the end.
Yeah.
We finally got the 5 played.
That game was much better.
It was. It was very clean on the whole.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. There were a couple of points where I was like, this is really tricky to figure out, like from that person's point of view. But every time, I think you all figured it out. It was great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So my early clue, I liked that you understood that I was like giving Steve an efficient clue. So you played your 0 card rather than playing the 5, and then you realised that you should play the 5 afterwards.
It took me a while. I was talking it through with the audience and saying, the 5's got to be a play clue. That's got to be the black 5. What's Dave doing? Why is he cluing me when I know I can play it? I was like, surely. And I guess the other thing was that there was no black 4 visible. Yeah. So I was like, it must be more important that I play the one
It
on the
meant
end.
that Steve didn't have like Steve either had to give an inefficient clue or didn't have a very good. I can't remember exactly what
It was the
clue
multicolored 3 and the blue 2, and by playing the multicolored 2 first, allowed me to clue both of them. But he had he had two twos and
He
two
also
blue
had the
cards.
option of finessing the multicolored 3 and cluing Matt. Either way, it was a more efficient clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we're going to have to clue Jonathan that hand eventually. And it just like we didn't have very good efficiency at the start, so I thought we needed to get some tempo back.
All right.
Yeah, from my perspective, I couldn't see the multicolored 3, right? Because it was in my hand. So I'm like, well, Jonathan has 2 playable cards, and I'd rather clue the 5 when it's not on his chop.
I think you did the right thing. I thought, I thought, that's what needs to be done right now.
No, it worked out well.
Yeah, and then Dave's clue especially works because Paul gave the 5 clue.
Yeah.
Because Dave's clue was a finesse on what Paul had, which obviously
Right.
Paul didn't know, which is why he gave the 5.
Yep.
All right. Paul, do you need to head off at this point? You were saying you needed to leave a bit early.
I've got half an hour still, so I think I'm good for one more.
Play fast.
Okay, if we play quickly, this will probably be our last game anyway, so we'll launch straight in. My goodness, it was exciting, that one, I thought.
If we have to.
All right, so here we go.
I suppose.
Final game. See if we can get another 30. Have we got 2 30s tonight?
Yeah.
Ew.
See, that's what happens when I'm back.
I'm sadly that there's some correlation issues there, but yeah.
All right, so
I'd
let
like
me mute them and myself. Oh, we'll see what happens. Yeah, Matt is saying that it's because he wasn't here last week. That's why it went so badly. But now that he's back, we're doing well. Right. So what do we got? No 5s on the chop. Is the black 1 out there? We can't see it. That's good. Don't like having that near the start. We've had a couple of games actually already because we've not played the black suit that much, but we've already had a couple of games where we've started with the black 1 on the chop. It's just so hard to deal with. Right, I think we've got a strategy there. So that we've agreed now that if you clue multiple ones in the first round of cluing, that it should not include the black 1. So you don't save the black 1 immediately. You have to wait. So that's definitely play. And we play ones from the right. So he plays that one and then that one. When it comes, he'll play the red one when it gets back round to him. And the other thing is that this is, oh no, look, it's the yellow one. I was just looking at the ones in Dave's hand. He's got 2 1s as well. But unfortunately, the yellow one matches the one there. Oh, but I've been clued on 2 1s. It's still the first round of cluing. So I've got to assume it's not the black one. I'm going to play the rightmost one and that one. So these ones must be different from Paul's ones. This is actually great. This is going much better than the previous game so far. And they've not clued Dave on his green one. So there's a good chance one of mine is green. Not necessarily. But Dave should not be discarding. Yeah, we've pretty much agreed at this point that we should never discard now on the first round, particularly with the black suit, because you might have the black 1 on the chop. And we don't want to be cluing that in the first round. Yeah, I think this is a sensible way of dealing with this. So, my decisions now are really easy. I play my rightmost one. When it gets back around to me, I play my leftmost. He just clued 1. So my ones will obviously be different. That's a white one. Steve will play his blue one. Paul will play his red one. And then Matt will have some decisions to make. Now we've also got, look, the blue 2 and the blue 3 is out there. We've also got the yellow 2 on Matt's chop. There's no way Matt will discard though. I don't think we need to worry about that because there are so many clues that can be given. And Matt loves cluing. So we've got a yellow 5 notice on Paul's chop. Just want to be slightly careful about that. So that's the red one. We've got the red 2 and the red 3 now. Oh, it's all coming together. Finally, the cards are coming out the way we want. So my one is going to be the multicolour one or the green one. Probably the green one, I think, because otherwise someone would have clued Dave's green one. Oh no, but how do you clue it? That's really difficult to clue, actually. We will want to, if I don't have the multicolour one, we'll want to save. I still think it's going to be the green one, because you could clue green maybe or something on Dave's hand, and tricky, but there are options there. So we'll see what colour my one is in a minute, but we'll want to save Dave's multicoloured 2 if I don't have the multicoloured 1. Matt, though, will want to be getting Steve's red 2 played, or Paul's blue 2. The difficulty we're going to have here is clue efficiency. We can't play more than one card with one clue. Like, you can clue Steve's red 2 and he'll play it, and then you can clue Paul's red 3 and he'll play it, but you can't get both of them played. There's no way of cluing those, because the earlier card that needs to be played must be in the most recent spot. That's the only way you can get a finesse to work, unless it's already been clued. But obviously at this stage we've got no cards that have already been clued. So Matt is thinking, what do I clue? There are so many options. So he's just gone for Steve's red 2. There's not a lot you can do there, unfortunately. Dave also has clues, like I'll be playing my 1. So he could clue Paul on his blue 2, for example. Again, it feels very inefficient, but you know what he might do, which would be very cheeky. He could clue blue on Steve, and then Paul will look at that and go, "Oh, I can't play that blue card." No, he's played it safe. You could have bluffed out the red 3 and then the blue 2, I think, but it would have. It had lots of potential for going wrong. Well, I don't need to think, because I'm just playing my 1, and it is the green 1, as we suspected. So unfortunately, we don't have the multicolour 2 yet. So the issue with just being so inefficient with the clues is that we're going to run out of clues. We've only got 2 clues left now. Steve, though, didn't play his red 2. He elected to clue yellow on my hand. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? I've got to think that I've got the yellow 2. Paul just played. I can't see how that's a finesse. I don't understand why Steve didn't play, though, I guess is the thing. That seems a bit strange. Because I could have the yellow 2 and the yellow 3 in order, but one of those cards could be multicolored as well. You see, if Matt just discards, it's like, we're happy to use the yellow 2, it must mean I got the yellow 2. But yeah, it just seems, I don't understand why Steve didn't play and wait for Matt to give the yellow clue on my hand. It seems odd that Steve would give the yellow clue when he's got a playable card. Unless he thinks it's a finesse somehow. But I can't see any finesse. Well, Matt just clued red on Paul's hand, on the 3, that's fine. And we discarded the multicolour 2. Well, I really hope that I've got the multicolour 2. And that's why they let Dave discard it. Yeah, so in fact, that was the multicolour 1. The fact they let Dave discard it means probably my other card is not the yellow 2, but it's actually the multicolour 2, which is really hard to get. The problem, though, is that if Steve may, I think, have been hoping that someone else would clue as well as him to stop Dave discarding the multicolour 2. We'll see. It's whether or not Matt then discards the yellow 2, because I can't have both of them. My other yellow card might be the yellow 2, it might be the multicolour 2, but it can't be both. And we don't want to lose a 2s, really. So I'm hoping it's the multicolour 2, and that's why they were happy for Dave. But if Matt discards here, then that was not great play by us collectively. I think it's very hard to say it's any person's fault in that instance, but just more generally, we should have planned as a team to avoid that situation. But it's really hard to see when you can't see your own cards is the problem, that's what makes the game so great. It's having to come up with a group plan when no one has all the information. and communication is so limited. Well, I mean, there's the the blue 3 in Steve's hand, and then the blue 4 in Steve's hand, so they can be clued. We'll need to save the 5 on Paul's chop. Nothing else really needs saving. We've got all the ones played except for the black one, obviously, but that has to be played last. He's discarded, yes. So that was not ideal. But he has drawn the green 2 and he's got the green 3, so that's quite good. So if I've got the multicolour 3, you can include green on Matt's hand and he'll just go play, play, play. Which would be very nice. Yeah, I think Steve probably, the reason he gave the yellow clue on my hand was because he could see the issue with discarding the yellow 2 and the multicolour 2 and wanted to clue my hand so they could see which of the 2 2s I'll be playing and then save the other one. But they didn't quite. I don't see the problem is I don't know which 2 it is, so I don't know whose responsibility it would have been to then save the other 2, because I don't know which 2 it needs saving. But Steve, I think, will have had a master plan there. It's one of those games where you really need to pay attention all the way through. If your concentration lapses, it's very easy to make a mistake. It's getting towards my bedtime, I think. Last game though, last game. Let's see if we can concentrate throughout this and get another 30. A hat trick, that's what we need. Dave's discarded. If Steve discards, we lose black 4, which is fine, but I think he'll be forced to save the 5. So I'm just going to play. I'm guessing it's a 2 of some kind. It's the yellow 2. Okay, that's fine. Now we didn't save Paul's 5, which is interesting. He must think Paul has a clue to give. And probably he would finesse, because look, Dave's drawn the green 3 as well. So if he clues 3 on Dave's hand, Matt will play the green 2, and then Dave will play the green 3, and we'll finally get a bit of clue efficiency. Yeah, that's what's happened. So Matt knows that the green 3 can't be played yet, so he must have the green 2, and it's always the most recent spot. Which then makes Matt's hand much safer because he can discard one of the multicolour 3s. That's fine, because he's got the other one. And then he can discard the green 3 because Dave's about to play the other green 3, so that's fine as well. So I like that clue. We're starting to get a few clues back now. We just got to hope that losing the multicolour 2 does not punish us. Because the reason we save 2s is because if the other matching 2 is the very last card in the deck, you can be screwed. So Dave should just be playing. He's probably just looking at discards and what's going to happen and whether or not we want to clue Steve's blue 3. For example, we don't want to lose that. I mean, I'll definitely be cluing the blue 3. But then the problem is we still need to save Paul's yellow 5. That's probably what Dave's thinking about. It's very important before you take a turn to think about what will the next player do, and then what will the player after that do, and then what will the player after that do, and sort of follow that chain through and make sure that it's not going to end in disaster. Because sometimes when you have a straightforward play, you should actually not play and clue or discard or do something else to avoid a future accident. He's played. So he obviously thinks there's enough time to do something. So I think I just clue Steve to tell him to play that card, and then probably he won't play it and actually save the 5, but we really need to, we don't want to lose that 3, particularly when he's got the 4. So yeah, I'm just going to clue Steve on that. Have we got any other cards that can be played? As we said, Matt's hand's fairly safe, yeah, so he has not played. So he'll know, he'll come back around and play it. But if I saved Paul's 5, Steve may have discarded if there was nothing else to do. And I can't see anything else to do, so that was the danger. Effectively, me telling him to play his rightmost card was saving it, if you like, because he then doesn't throw it because he's forced to clue to stop Paul throwing his yellow 5 away. But also it means that when it gets back round to him, he can play it. We've drawn the multicolour 2. Hallelujah. Remember I said if that was low down in the deck, we could be in some really bad trouble, but this has worked out beautifully. We've been quite fortunate. The cards have fallen much nicer in this game than they have in the previous games. Because we've got the multicolor 2, 3 and 4 in hand. So Matt can't see the multicolor 3s. So he's probably wondering, should I clue the multicolor 2? He should definitely not be cluing it. It shouldn't be him. Steve knows what he's doing. He's playing. You can clue Steve on his blue 4. That would be fine. I wouldn't recommend it at this stage, but in theory it's a clue that could be given. Like if you clue blue, he'll know to play the right one first because he was zeroed, and then he'll come back and play the 4. But Matt, I think, should be discarding really at this stage. The problem is Dave he doesn't know that he's got the 4, so he might discard because there's a finesse here now. Yeah, we clue Matt on his multicolor 3, and that gets Paul to play his multicolor 2. Dave might do it, but there's no reason why he should. You know, he could just discard, expecting that I would do it. It has to be me or Dave because Steve has a play. Notice that Steve's drawn the black 1. Keep an eye on that one. He's done it. Hooray. So that saved the multicolor 4. So Steve will play the blue 3. So in fact, what I think I want to do is zero Dave on the multicolor 4. Hang on, let's not zero if I don't need to. Let's clue him white. Would be nice and straightforward, I think. So that's basically saying play. So the red clue from Dave on Matt tells Paul to play the multicolor 2 and Matt to play the multicolor 3, and then my clue of white on Dave tells him to play the multicolor 4. Because number on the chop, remember, means save, but colour anywhere means play. So that gets the multicolor 2, 3 and 4 played, and you'll see Steve there played the blue 3, which is good. Now we could really do with the yellow 3 at this point. That would be nice. Or in fact, any black 5. There are 3 black 5s. Remember, the black series played in reverse order, so we have to play the 5s first. He's discarded it. Now you've got to pay attention to that kind of thing. He's done that intentionally. The reason he's discarded it is because it means someone else has the multicolor 4 in the most recent spot. And we can all see it's Matt, but Matt can't see it, so Matt will know he's got the multicolor 4. So it effectively, it's called a discard finesse. It gets us a clue back at this stage, so we kind of got more clues for a bit, rather than discarding other cards that might be important. So what's going to happen? I'm just looking at what's going to happen in terms of discards. If I clue Steve, you see, to play the blue 4, which would be good. Paul potentially discards the black 3. We haven't lost the other black 3. There's a gap here, so that's okay. Matt knows he's playing that, and then it gets back round to Dave and he discards, and it's fine. Don't like losing 3s, but I actually think that is our best option. It's a question of whether or not Paul can do anything. It doesn't matter if Steve discards that yellow 4 because Paul's got the other yellow 4, but we've got to be careful because if Paul now discards the black 3, both those yellow 4s are on the chop. So we'll have to save one of them. But then Steve will also have the 1. The black 1 will be next, and then he'll have the red 5 next. So Steve's hand is going to get very messy very quickly if we're not careful. Ideally, we would want Steve to discard the yellow 4, and then we save the 1 in Paul's hand. Fortunately, Paul has not discarded. Let me just check what's happened here. Paul clued me, telling me I've got no 5, so I've been 0 clued, so I'm going to play my rightmost card. That's great. Matt, you'll notice, played the multicolor 4. That's because of Dave's discard. So it's back with Dave. I've been 0'd, so I'm playing my rightmost card. I've no idea what it is. Oh, I need to check there's not a finesse available. Who clued me? Paul clued me. And then Matt played. So it can't have been finessing any of Dave or Matt's cards. It can't be finessing this. It just must be a play clue. It must just be a standard play clue. But you always, they're zeroing me. But you have to check the finesse. You always have to check the finesse, okay? So I just also want to make sure that there's no dodgy discards. If we lose, yeah, we want Steve to discard the yellow 4, so that's fine. So I'm going to play that. That's good. I think what they're saying is it's really easy to miss a 0 clue, okay? So if you need some way of kind of indicating, because if you give any other kind of clue and a sign pops up above the card, but you kind of want to hold up a big sign that says 0 clue or something when you give a 0 clue so that everyone knows it's a 0 clue. Otherwise, they're just so hard to miss. Like the only reason I really spot it is because I'm looking at the log here on the right-hand side. I'm reading, oh, this tells me what each person has done. Right, what's Steve going to do now? So, have we drawn anything useful? We've got the green 4 in Matt's hand. That's good. He discards the yellow 4. That's good, because we don't want... Oh, and he's drawn the yellow 3. That's great. The problem is we don't want Paul to give a clue here because we want to finesse Steve's yellow 3 by cluing Paul's hand. But I think Paul will look at the green 4 in Matt's hand and think, that needs to be played. Now, if anyone has a green 5, which would have to be me because I can't see it anywhere else, Paul will finesse the green 4 in Matt's hand by cluing my green 5. You clue the one after when you finesse. If he just clues Matt's 4, then it means I don't have the green 5. That's fine, and then Matt plays it. Then Dave has a lovely clue he can give to Paul. He will clue yellow. That will get Steve to play the yellow 3, then Paul will play the yellow 4, and then when it comes back to Paul, he will play the yellow 5, and all our troubles will be over, because things are getting quite messy there. We do need to save the black 1 on Steve's chop, and then we'll also have to save the red 5. What we want, though, you kind of want to delay that if you can. You don't want to just be saving things immediately when there are things that can be played, because if we draw, for instance, the red 4 in the meantime, by playing other cards, then we don't need to save the red 5, we can just finesse the red 4 by cluing the red 5. So you really need to be looking for efficiency in your clue giving wherever possible. Right, well, Matt knows that's a play clue. There's no way it's anything else because it's not number on the chop. It's a number. It's a 4. He knows it must be the red 4 or the green 4. In fact, he would expect a finesse if it was the red 4. So I think he should know it's the green 4. Yeah, because you could clue Steve, like I was saying, on the red 5 if Matt had the red 4. So the fact that it was just a 4 clue means there can't be a green 5 out there, so that must be the green 4. But he's not playing. We've only got 2 clues, and Dave's got nothing to do. Yeah, so there we go. He's played. That's fine. Better to be safe than sorry, though. Sometimes it's worth just checking around, making sure you haven't missed anything. So Dave, it doesn't really matter if we lose the black 2 if he discards at this point. Okay, that's fine. He discarded. So I'm definitely cluing the yellow clue here. That's a bit of a no-brainer. Dong. Because that gets Steve to play the yellow 3, and then Paul plays the yellow 4, and then we're back to Matt. And Matt has a safe discard, yeah. You should check things like that before you just jump in and clue. But Matt does have a safe discard. In fact, he's got 2 safe discards before we get to that dangerous white 5. So Matt can clue again. And we don't need to worry about Paul now. Paul will be playing the yellow 5 when it gets back around to him. The problem we've got is, well, the problem that we'll have collectively is the black suit. We haven't even started it. Paul, thankfully, has just drawn black 5. That is the first black 5 we've seen. And we don't have a black 4. Now, we did discard 1, so that could be an issue. Matt's just discarded. Okay. I will need to save the black 1 if nothing else happens. This is getting very tricky because if I clue 1 on Steve's hand, he'll discard the 5, the red 5. So we don't want that to happen. You've got to clue the 1 first, though. If you clue 5, he'll think it's a play clue because it's not on the chop. So Dave, you see, could clue 1 on Steve's hand, then I could clue 5, and then Paul would play. But really, we want the black 5 to be played before the yellow 5. I don't think there's any easy way around this. I have to save that one. Oh. no, maybe. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I'll tell you why. That is definitely a save clue. Okay. We don't need to play any more ones. So Steve knows that his rightmost one is the black 1, which means his other one is a safe discard. So actually, that red 5 is no longer on the chop. So I think I actually clue Paul's black 5 and we get that played. I think that's the play. Yeah, because he discards that one. There we go. There we go. That was good. Because it's more important, you see, that Paul plays the leftmost 5. Because we need to get this black suit out. Now the black 4 might not be out there is the thing. But if it is, we need to get it going. Because it will clear a lot of cards out. Like if I've got the black 4, he's actually chosen to play the other one. Well. We'll see. If somebody clues 4 on my hand, I'd expect it to be the black 4, but if not, we've got plenty of clues because we got a clue back from playing that one. I'm just concerned about us running out of time. We've got 16 cards left in the deck. Yeah, see top left. It's not terrible, but they can go quickly. The white 3 would be nice as well if we could get that. Oh, that's a play clue, that is. I'll tell you, that is a mat clue all over. That means, so the 5, so he's telling Steve, play the black 2. Everyone else looks at that and goes, what? We haven't even started the black 2. So we're like, okay, so Paul has to play that 5 first, and Paul will look around, he can't see the black 5, so he'll know, okay, my 5 must be the black 5, so that has to be played first. Then everyone looks around and looks for the black 4. Now I'm the only one that can't see the black 4, which means it must be in my hand. Where is it? It has to be the most recent card. So I think my leftmost card is the black 4. The problem is I can then see the black 3. So I don't think I've got the black 3. Paul will think he's got the black 3 and will then try and play it. So, Steve has been told to save a whole pile of cards. So I think I discard. My leftmost card is the black 4, I think. Don't think there's anything else I can helpfully clue, so I should just discard. But watch this now. This card is moving. There it goes. This second card along, I think now is the black 4. It's very important you keep track of that. Oh, no. What was Matt doing? What was Matt doing? I don't know. But that 4 that has just been clued must be the black 4. So I didn't have the black 4. I don't like Matt's clue in that case. If I had already had the black 4, it would have been fine. But I didn't. So I don't know what his clue was doing. I guess he was saving it, but then the 5, you needed to clue the 5 first to save the 5 on the chop. Then you can clue the 2 on the chop and save that. You can't clue the 2 when it's not on the chop because it means play. So I think that was a dodgy clue. As it turns out, it doesn't matter. He knows, in fact, well, maybe it wasn't terrible because he knows it's the black 2 because that's the only 2 that's left that we care about. But cluing it when it wasn't on the chop is really saying it's a play clue, which is implying that the other cards are there, that you can see them, they need to be played first. Dave's discarded. Right, Steve knows he doesn't have anything playable. He will just discard the leftmost card, so I definitely want to be playing that. That should be the black 4. Yeah, okay, there we go. I've been clued 4 again. Okay, that's going to be the red 4. Paul has figured out that that is the black 3. Honestly, I can't remember how he knew that at this point. But fortunately, he is paying attention to his own hand because you're always thinking, well, what's this card? Could it be this card? Could it be that card? He's figured it out. I was wondering whether or not he would know to play that. Well, fortunately, what have we got? Well, we're still missing the white 3. Now, Steve can see the multicolour 5 and the white 5. I'm trying to work out if he knows what colour his 5 is. Notice Matt's white 5 is now on the chop. Got to be careful about that. Paul's multicolour 5 is playable though, so we can clue that and just get it played. It's going to be tight, but I think we're going to be fine. You know, it's looking good. I think it is looking good. So what does Dave do? Mine's definitely a play clue. It's got to be the red 4. Dave's just discarded, so that's fine. I should play this. I'm surprised he hasn't clued. I think Steve has figured out maybe from other clues what his card is. We'll see if Steve manages to play the red 5. Like, how does he know it's not the green 5 or the blue 5, for example? Oh, he's playing the black 2, of course. That's sensible. Yeah, because we don't need to play the red 5 yet. Paul has saved Matt's 5. Now, the fact that he wasn't zeroed or given a colour, and the fact that it's a number on the chop means it's a save clue, tells him it's effectively the white 5. He knows it's the white 5 now because all the other 5s are playable. And we would have given him a play clue if it was a playable 5. So he knows it's the white 5. That's handy. That'll become useful later. We won't have to clue him on it again. He'll just know once the white... Oh, no! Oops. And it all goes wrong. Matt knew the number on the chart was a save clue. He knew it was a save. He knew it was a white 5. He should have known. He missed it. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a hat trick tonight. It's obviously getting late. We're getting tired. Let's see if we can get 29. I want to, if you've played, what's it called, the Mind, or you've put the hand on the table afterwards, I kind of want to put hands on the screen at this point to resynchronize. Right. Dave said to Steve that they're both 5s. So the first one is, in fact, they're both playable 5s. And every 5 is playable except the white 5, which we've lost now. So Steve knows he can just play those cards. He can also play the 1. Steve has got a ton of playable cards. So I guess I just clue Dave. We still don't have the white 3. Oh, I've got no clues. Right, I'm discarding them. Oh, I can't discard because the thing's there. Discard. All right, so Steve plays any of those 3, to be honest. Notice when you play the right one, you get a clue back because it's like playing a 5 from the other suits. Paul might discard, which is okay because Dave's got the other white 4. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to be really struggling for time, partly because Steve's got 2 playable cards. See, if I'd had a clue, if Matt had not played but discarded instead, I would have had a clue, and I could have told Steve, I could have told Paul rather, to play his multicolour 5. There you go. So we've had to use it there. Dave, I think, has to discard unless I've drawn the white 3. No, someone would have finessed it if I had. So I haven't. We've discarded a lot of those white cards, haven't we? If you look at the discard pile, 2 1s, 2 3 4 and a 5. Not good. It was all going so well. I think we could have got it out if Matt had saved that white 5. It would have been tight, but I think we could have done it. Depends when we draw the white 3. Oh, there's another 5 that needs playing. Steve's going to play. Paul's going to play. Matt, doesn't really matter what he does, but I should clue, so we don't need to give this clue later. Because when it gets around to Matt, if I draw, or if any of them rather draw the, oh, I should have discarded, oh, maybe I should discard it. I'm thinking we need to get the white 3 played earlier. Like if I discard it, then I can be one that plays it. But then we run out of clues. Yeah. So Paul, I think, should not play. He should clue. And then Matt should clue. Yeah, I don't think we get this out now because Steve, I mean, we could, we can we do it? Do we have enough clues? You need enough clues is the thing. Oh no, we definitely don't do it now. I don't know that it really mattered. If Paul had clued, if he'd say finessed the 3 and then we clue, Steve plays. I don't think we've got enough clues to get round is the problem. See, if Matt had discarded earlier, we would have had enough clues and I think we would have done it. But we need, if we have one more clue, you see, we clue, then Steve plays the 3. Oh no, we can't get the 4 and Dave's hand played as well. Yeah, it all went wrong when Matt tried to play the white 5. Yeah, we would definitely have had enough. Otherwise, never mind. It was good until it wasn't. Yes. Let's see if I can plug back in. There's nothing else that he's doing. Well, I'll clue him on that one just so he knows. All right. Well,
So
there
we
we
could have
go.
done one better there.
Yeah.
If I'd clued instead of
No, it was me.
If Paul had clued.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, at the end.
Yeah, we could have got around. Just skip the red 5 and had the white 3/4 played instead.
We maybe could have done loads better if I hadn't discarded the white 5.
Yeah,
to play the white 5.
No, if the white
There is that.
if the white 3 solo down, it doesn't matter.
It probably would not have mattered.
No, it would have mattered because we would have had more clues because Matt would have discarded.
Yeah.
I don't think we get rounds another lap, do we?
If we've got enough clues.
I need to run. So I will see you next week.
Because Matt and Dave were the wrong way around. Matt and Dave,
maybe.
Dave had the white 4, Matt had the white 5, but they were the wrong way around. So I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but if Matt had discarded and drawn the blue 5 instead of Dave.
Yeah. Although I drew.
Matt
I still drew.
He still draws.
Yeah, I still drew.
If he'd saved the white 5 and discarded, he would have drawn the blue 5.
No, because he did.
No, because I would have drawn what I actually drew.
You draw when you misfire as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah. So he wouldn't have drawn. So Dave wouldn't have drawn the blue 5, and I would have drawn the blue 5, wouldn't I? Maybe. Well, who knows? Overall, I thought we did very well tonight. It was just a little bit of a hiccup at the end.
Yeah.
So Paul had the white 3 early. I'm just going through the replay now. He had a white 3 in his opening hand. So at some point we made a mistake to not have that play because Jonathan had the 2 white 2s that the one that he wasn't discarding.
Well, Jonathan wasn't discarding.
Yeah.
White 2s.
We're waiting for Jonathan to get rid of his
include him, I guess.
Yeah, good at him.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have. But it was a choice between the yellow 5 or the white 3, I think, at some point.
Well, if you've been watching, thanks very much for tuning in. Hopefully it's been educational.
Yeah.
Do have a go yourself on Boardgame Arena. Try the black suit. It's very challenging. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.